Hey, I'm Becky and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is part 3 of a series where I'm talking about conversion rate optimization, digital marketing, and applying behavioral science for businesses of every size. I'll be breaking down the hurdles that most businesses face when looking at conversion rate optimization, namely lack of traffic and lack of money. And I'll be making this applicable for any business. In the last video, we talked about optimizing your headline. Now let's move down the page to body copy. There is so much out there about copy, so today I'll be giving you a framework to get started. Once you have that framework, future suggestions can fit in, and you'll have a foundation to start experimenting with. Now, oh my God, it's so much text. Don't do this, please. This needs to be broken up into at least 5 sections instead of 2. Each section should be one concept: headers, subheaders, lists, and graphics. Use these to break it up and add to the meaning. Chunking information this way helps group it into smaller and smaller bits. It clues the reader in to what information is related and how much they have to hold in their short-term memory at once. Okay, now, copy flow. Starting with the headline, we've introduced the value proposition. The visitor should know where they are and what they can get. Now they need to make a decision. Do they convert, or are they going to leave? Yep. Decision making. Now this is my jam. Behavioral economics has a lot to tell us about decision making, and it's one of my favorite fields. But you know where is an awesome place to start in order to build a foundation of your copy? Face-to-face sales. Oh yeah, since sales has been around probably as long as humanity, through trial and error, they've managed to get the conversion process pretty much down. So what we're doing here is just adapting the best sales conversations to a digital medium. That's what conversion-focused copy should be. A conversation that you're having with a prospect. You're just stripped of the face-to-face advantage of seeing your prospect react to something or hearing their questions. Normally, you'd use that to guide the conversation. Since you can't, you have to accommodate that by allowing your prospect to do it for you. That's part of the formatting that I mentioned earlier. I need to be able to skim while still getting meaning. People are going to skim, and they aren't going to give you their full attention until they've decided that they're interested in a section. Your section headers should accommodate this by giving meaning to someone who's just skimming. So instead of "about us," you're going to want to use a headline like this: 650 million conversions and counting. That actually conveys something meaningful while giving an idea about what other information will be in that section. I'm not reading in a linear path. I'm first skimming to decide if I want to give you my time and attention. Then I'm going to slowly get pulled in when something catches my interest. At that point, I'll read the copy and move closer to making my final decision. Repeat things, not word for word. Present the concept in a different way. I'm looking at a Kickstarter for Chase Pants right now that mentions they have a lot of pockets. 5 times. Each time is slightly different. This helps with inattentive readers. The information sinks in and recall is improved when your core benefits or message are presented in different ways. It's why you see the same commercial or variations of it over and over. If you got the message 100% the first time, then there would be no benefit from additional airings. Next, how to organize. This is a lot easier if you've actually had a sales conversation with a prospect. Even better if you've had a successful sales conversation. Start out by immediately orienting the prospect. They should know where they are and what the offer is. Even better if they know why they should do that with you as opposed to your competitor. This is your unique differentiator. Then you're going to tell a story. This story can be formatted differently depending on your target and depending on the business, but it's going to look something like this. What the problem is, what's missing, what's not ideal, or what's just plain wrong. You need to let the target know that you understand them and their motivation. Next, how you'll solve it and what makes you different, what makes you better, or why they should act. Then you'll want to prove it. Social proof, testimonials, demos, those belong in this category. Finally, ask for the sale, and don't be shy. I hate Facebook's Learn More button for this reason. Learn More is popping up more frequently as a call to action on landing pages. And in 9 out of 10 cases, learn more is too weak of a call to action. For your call to action, your ask, you need to base it off of what the visitor should do in order to convert. Want them to sign up? Say sign up. Want them to buy? Say buy now. Ending with an ask will increase your conversion rate. If you're letting your page just trail off, or if you're ending with a different ask, like signing up for a newsletter, then you're missing out on conversions. You can throw things that are extras in there, like trust building, scarcity, social proof, and supporting stats. All of these are highly useful elements, but they are extras because at its core, your copy needs to be built around your story. If your story can hit exactly what your target is looking for, then everything else is just a bonus. I'll use my own experience with the chase pants on Kickstarter as an example. So I'm not much of an impulse buyer, and Kickstarter, well, by definition, I can't see much social proof since things don't even exist yet. And I could easily believe that they managed to take in a few hundred suckers. I don't know any of the publications they mentioned being listed in, and I don't know the company. But I really want a pair of durable, skinny-cut pants with a bunch of pockets that don't restrict my movements. And the story that they're telling me matches that immaculately, complete with plenty of pictures of people wearing the prototype pants, hiking, as well as charts explaining the durability. Plus, they're made from recycled bottles in low environmental impact facilities. I mean, it's basically like I walked into their offices and saw a picture of myself on the wall as their persona. Again, I am not an impulse buyer, and I'm not an early adopter. But if you can tell me a story that makes me feel like you really get me, you can win my trust without having to lean on much else. Okay, last concept for this video, length. How long does your copy need to be? Your copy should be as long as your visitor needs in order to make a decision. Most web pages selling pants are short, like Lucky's. Chase's goes on and on and on, and yet I still read the whole thing, multiple times, and their pants were cheaper than Lucky's. I've had high-converting long pages that were just targeted at getting an email address. It really depends on your product and your target audience's mindset. Would Lucky's pants do better with an epically long sales page? Very likely not, because their shoppers are in a different mindset than people looking at the Chase pants. Just add calls to action throughout so that whenever your visitor has enough information, they can go ahead and convert. Don't make them search for the button. This also accommodates people who may not need quite as much information in order to make their decision. All right, that was a lot. Here's a quick recap. Format your text in order to increase the chances of it actually getting read. Tell your product's story in a series of single concept sections with meaningful headers. Make a strong ask with your CTAs. Make your copy as long as your visitor needs. Next up, key design elements for conversion. Click to go on to that video and subscribe to get more content on optimizing your digital marketing.